Well, an extravagant celebration of the iconic music of Broadway and more. The Four Phantoms in Concert brings together four phantoms from the Tony Award-winning The Phantom of the Opera for an unforgettable night of entertainment, and it's coming to South Bend. Joining me today is one of the phantoms, John Cudea. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
So how long did you play the Masked Man on Broadway?
Okay, well, let's see. The first time, the second time, I was in and out of the Broadway show as Raoul and the Phantom, also the national tour as the Phantom for the better part of 10 and a half years. The time that I played the Phantom of probably equals about 2.5 years of that time.
Wow. So you've got four fellas who all played the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. How is that touring with, kind of like four versions of you?
Well, that's the interesting thing. And it's one of the great things about this concert is that people can get a sense of the kind of phantoms we were and how individual the role can actually be. Because we have four very distinct personalities, four very distinct origin stories of how we got to Phantom, and different interpretations of different other songs that have meaning to us. And I guess you might imagine there might be some competition and some egos, but luckily we don't have that at all. We've known each other in the business for years, and appreciate very much what each person brings to their interpretation of their music. And we just have a ton of fun on stage together, too.
So how long have you been doing this Four Phantom tour?
For me, it's been about 4 years.
Oh.
Now, of course,
So
some of that
has
was
has it
interrupted by COVID,
changed?
of course.
Sure. Has it changed since the announcement of the closing of the Broadway production? Has anything
Well,
changed for you?
only since now being back out with the group after the end of COVID, the announcement is still relatively new. And so we haven't really heard all that much from the audiences about how they feel about it. But I can tell you just from my colleagues in on Broadway and in the theater community, definitely it was a shock that kind of reverberated around social media, and a lot of people really kind of mourning the end of an era and wondering ever so slightly if maybe the Phantom has something up his sleeve that we don't know yet.
Well, he is a tricky guy, so you just never
It's
know.
a little bit
So,
of a trick.
right. So in the performance of the Four Phantoms, what is your favorite song that you perform?
Probably Being Alive, which is a Stephen Sondheim song from Company, which had a recent run on Broadway.
I love
And I
that song.
it's an amazing song, and it's one of those songs that I sang when I was a much younger actor, and I appreciated it for its musicality, its lyrical beauty. But as everything that you approach as a young artist, the things that you don't know about the meaning of a song, you just don't know until you're older. So now, when I picked the material back up specifically for the Four Phantoms, it just hit me in a completely different way, and I couldn't wait to tell that new story to the audience. And it's a thrill to sing.
I bet. I do love that song. So we're coming to South Bend this
Yes.
weekend. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is going to be our first stop in South Bend. And if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be an afternoon performance. This is going to be a 2 o'clock performance.
Right.
And that's going to be new for us. As you know, Phantoms tend to like the evening hours. So I'm curious to see what the matinee audience and what the matinee performance will be like. And also, it's always great for the four of us to get together in a new venue and experience it.
Well,
So,
I've always said that theater is a nighttime sport, so I'm not envying your 2 o'clock singing. But the Morris is beautiful, and we can't wait to see you this Saturday. Thanks for being with us this morning, John. The
oh,
Four
thank you so much.
Phantoms in concert at the Morris Performing Arts Center Saturday, November 5th at 2 p.m. 574-235-9190 will get you tickets. You can also visit BroadwayInSouthBend.com, and they can also find them on Facebook. Sounds like a great way to spend Saturday afternoon to me.